Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers!
Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Kelly.
I'm Wendy.
Tonight we're going to talk about Summer House Season 10, The Aftermath, the last part of the season, we think, but who knows. Before we get into it, please go to our YouTube and subscribe. Follow us on social media, share, like, and please leave 5-star reviews. Before we get into Summer House, Wendy and I were just talking about Kim D's podcast with Reality Court, Anna Kinkosis. And
Ace.
Ace. I always want to call him like Spike or something. I don't know what my problem is. Ace. But anyway, Wendy and I love their podcast, Reality Court. If you haven't listened, it's very good. But they actually had Kim D on today. It dropped a very good interview. She gives a lot of tea. She talks about the Melania situation, which is very sad the more we learn about it. Very sad. And our hearts go out to Melania, and we're on your side, girl. You know,
Yes.
I hope
yes,
you get
we are.
expunged and freed from all these ridiculous, allegations, whatever. So check that out. But Summer House, I just want to thank the producers because I really appreciated the fact that they showed one sit down, then another sit down,
too.
and then another sit down, right? We were
my
not
gosh.
following the bouncing ball between sit downs.
I love that, and I love that they gave us dates in between sit-downs, and we started in order.
Yes, yes.
I need that.
I do too. So now that you bring up dates,
The
the
first date, you have it?
I only have that it was 20 days after the reunion.
Okay, so it was May 13th, 2026, and it was 20 days after the reunion.
Okay, so now let me ask you, at this point, West and Amanda should have gotten back from Italy, correct?
No. West and Amanda didn't go. No, because she didn't get back from Italy until like a day or two before the In the City reunion, which just happened last week.
So they went to Italy when the reunion started airing, not when it taped.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So that is interesting based on this conversation she had with Lindsay. So
totally
Amanda
agree.
arrives at Lindsay's apartment, which God bless Lindsay because that apartment is gorgeous and it's huge, and God bless her for it. Amanda says that the reunion was a shit show and their friendship is so important, and she knows she hurt a lot more people than she thought she was. And Lindsay says that she's in a very tough position, which she is. She says despite their ups and downs, they have gotten very close, and Amanda needs a big sister to give her the hard truth right now. And I honestly think that Lindsay, I'm a big fan of Lindsay now based off of this. I think she did a great job.
I do too.
Yeah. Amanda said she can't watch the season back because she's off of social media to protect her own mental health. And Lindsay said, you and West made a very adult decision, and now you have to deal with it like adults and not bury your head like an ostrich, which, by the way, I used that saying today at work.
You did?
I am going to use that one for all it's worth. So Amanda says, I've made a poor decision, but I was in such a shitty relationship. And this is important because you know how I feel. Everything Amanda says about her relationship and how awful it was, Lindsay is agreeing.
Yes, she
is. Lindsay totally agrees. And Amanda says that she was a shell of herself. And I think at the end, she really was.
Actually, before that happened, Lindsay said to her, you're going to have to go through it. You can't go around it. And Amanda said, no, I know. I'm going through it. I feel it every day. And Lindsay's like, you're not. You're actually not going through it. She's right. She wasn't going through it. And I like that she called her out on it. I like that Lindsay is holding her accountable. She is. For sure.
So Amanda says going out after the separation, she felt like herself again. And maybe she confused finding herself and happiness again with feelings for West. She started having fun again, and she didn't feel lost and lonely. So Lindsay validates her and says there is validity in what she's saying, but it doesn't excuse going for the one guy that broke Ciara's heart multiple times. And listen, we've said this. This was the problem. Amanda says West pursued her, and Lindsay says that at PJ Clark's, West said Amanda pursued him. And he said that Amanda was obsessed with him and she had a crush on him. And Amanda says, this is fucking bullshit. But you stayed with him after you learned this. She probably went home and said something to him and he was like, no, that's not what happened. That's not what I said. Lindsay's lying. Right?
Listen, the fact that she went to Italy with him
I'm blown away after
my
this.
mind.
Yep,
after this sit down, after the sit down we heard with Mija, after all of it, this girl just makes one bad decision after another.
And he is a compulsive liar.
I don't think he knows the truth at all.
I don't think so either.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those guys who lies so much, he doesn't even remember when he's telling the truth.
No, I agree.
So Amanda says that once she separated from Kyle, West was actively texting her to hang out, and she would keep saying no. So then she shows the text chain. And her friend Katie was on this text chain with she and West. And it wasn't very telling because it was West just being like, hey, we're watching the game. You know, it was a group thing.
It was more than that.
But we do see Amanda declining over and over again. We do see that. So, you know, when it's a he said, she said thing, who was pursuing who, it was definitely West pursuing her.
100%. I would have loved to seen the text chain between Amanda and West.
Just the two of them. Right.
Yes.
She did not show that. Because at some point they had to start texting each other. So she says that one time Ciara saw her at his apartment on January 17th. And she said that was him inviting her over to watch the game. And then January 19th, the split announcement came out. And she was like, okay, I can't keep laying low like this. You know, I have to go out. I have to, you know, enjoy myself, get out of my bubble. And then at one point when they were out is when he said, you know, is it crazy? Is it me? Or do we, you know, is there something here? So and then she started wondering if she had feelings for him.
That date, January 19th, when West said on the reunion, like nothing between Amanda and I got physical until the statement went out. He was referring to that statement on January 19th. And the reason that statement needed to be so rushed, I believe, is because that's when Ciara figured it out on the 17th, not the bullshit she said on the reunion stage, because that's why she rushed Kyle to put the statement out. Now, what bothers me about this whole thing is that everyone has asked Andy about why the video wasn't brought up at the reunion. And he said, well, it was. We just didn't have time to get to it. Okay, well, we know that Kyle told us that he sat down with West for 2.5 hours. So we know that each of these people, these two, sat together for at least 2 hours each. We got 22 minutes out of each of them because I actually wrote it down. And we didn't find out the answers to any of these questions. And you want to know why? This is why. This is what I think. I think that Bravo is protecting Amanda. I think Bravo wants Amanda to come back. They've already cut ties with West. Mm-hmm. And I think Bravo knows the answers to these questions, has the information, and they are protecting Amanda so she doesn't look like the person that she is. I was going to say a mean word, but I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do it. So that she doesn't look like the person.
Why do you think they would do that, though?
I think
just
they
to
would
get her back for Summer House?
Because honestly, because I think it'll make for good TV. Because she's so broken. She's so broken.
It will make for good TV, but let's think about this. Think about the logistics of Summer House now. You got Kyle's definitely coming back. He is the show. I hate to admit it, but he is. Ciara's coming back. She's already said it.
Lindsay's coming back.
I honestly think they're going to bring Mija in now.
They may, or I said that last time. I don't think it would be horrible.
She'll show up for a party or two, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to have Amanda in this house?
You don't think that's going to not make for good TV?
I think you're absolutely right. I cringe thinking about it, but I guess you're right. Yeah.
That's my prediction. That is my prediction. That's what's gonna happen. I mean, I think that listen, why else would they be protecting her?
You're 100% right. They're definitely protecting her.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know
we'll see what
why, but
happens.
yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason I
So,
can come up with.
yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
And she's
So
not in the
when
city,
West
so we're gonna need to see her again too, you
Oh,
know?
we definitely need to see her on In the City, because In the City, the separation and the divorce and all that can play out. We don't necessarily want, like, I don't watch Summer House for that. I wanna watch Summer House because I can't afford to go to the Hamptons, so I want to see people who can afford to go to the Hamptons and while out. They definitely need her for In the City, for sure. So when Amanda says that West brought it up to her, like, "Am I crazy or is there something there?" And she said, "That's when I started wondering if I had feelings for him." Lindsay says, "So he manipulated you." And Amanda says, "Those are not my words." But it does sound like that's what she was insinuating. She's basically insinuating that it would never crossed her mind until he said it.
Right, and Lindsay said, "Well,
So
those are my words, and I don't mind
right.
saying them." Right.
And at this point, Lindsay asks the magic question, which Andy should have asked at the reunion. So, Andy, just give her your job, or Paige, either one. Why didn't you shut it down then and think of Ciara? And Amanda says she was being selfish and she was overwhelmed with the feeling of a man caring about her. And then Lindsay says, a man with a little wee wee.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you wish you had a space where you could talk about all of the things in midlife that nobody says out loud with people who have both experience and expertise? The hormones, the emotions, the changes in your body, relationships, and work. The identity that does not quite fit anymore.
Messy Midlife is 3 naturopathic doctors and 1 therapist having the unscripted, unfiltered conversations about all of it. We explore the strange, powerful transformation hiding inside as we navigate finding ourselves again and letting go of what no longer fits.
0 filters, 0 pretending, 0 apologies. 100% real. Join us for Messy Midlife anywhere you listen and become a part of our community.
Actually, first she said people. She said that, and then Lindsay's like, there's many of people who care for you. And then she said, oh, a man.
Man.
Come
I
on.
mean, listen, like I said before, West was a rebound. It was a bad fucking rebound. It was a bad rebound. It's not going to last. But, that rebound where it's like, you're like, oh my God, like, oh, so this is my person because, because the last relationship went to shit. And this is the first person, there's so many steps of a breakup. So once you get to the point where you can actually see yourself with somebody else, you're like, oh my God, this is it. It's not it. It's a rebound. So Lindsay asks Amanda what her biggest takeaway from the reunion was. And Amanda says she doesn't remember much because when she gets yelled at, she retreats and disassociates. And that's what she did in her marriage. And she wanted to have kids with Kyle and she wanted to be happily married to Kyle. And when that didn't happen, she started to wonder if maybe West was her person because she felt unlovable for so long. I mean, I I don't I don't I feel bad for Amanda right now because I think that's really how she was feeling. But how do you look at somebody who broke your best friend's heart multiple times and think, "Oh, maybe he's my person."
Listen, like I said, I think that she is so far broken. Like she needs some major therapy.
Yes, she does.
Like Lindsay said to her, like, you cannot put your self-worth and your self-love in somebody else's hands. Like, you need to love yourself. You can't rely on somebody else to do that. And she obviously has 0 self-love. I mean, it's obvious. And Amanda, every time Lindsay would say something to her that was right, Amanda would sit there and go, yeah, yeah, yeah. Which, by the
You
way,
know,
same thing with West. Every time Kyle would say something, he'd say,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, what is wrong with you two?
So, something came out from someone who went to high school with Amanda, and they
Yeah.
said that she was a mean girl. She was part of the 9, and so was this girl Katie, and they were super popular and didn't fuck with anybody who wasn't in their clique, right? People like that, when you peak in high school, there's nowhere else to go. So, and you're so concentrated on your image and what people think of you. So this is how Amanda, I mean, listen, I'm no expert. I'm not a doctor. I just play one in my own head. But this is how she must picture herself. Like, if she's not getting that validation from people, could you imagine her now, like with all the hate on social media, which I don't agree with? I don't agree with.
No.
But she's probably like curled up in a ball in the fetal position somewhere, not wanting to even go outside because people don't love her. And she's probably lived her whole life, people loving her because she was popular and blah, 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 blah.
You know the interesting about her? Like, I've watched this show from the very beginning. When you see scenes like where they flash back to her when she doesn't even look like the same person. She totally looks like a totally different person. I didn't dislike her, but there was never anything about her I thought that was all that great. Like, I never thought like she was like that it girl. I never saw what Kyle saw in her. I never got it, to be quite honest with you, because Kyle is such a big personality and she is not and never has been. Like, she just.
But someone like Kyle, Kyle could never be with somebody like Lindsay. That takes the spotlight off of him. He really needs to be with somebody who's in the background, just like what Ciara said. And West is the same way. It's really like she went, like Andy said, you went from one bad situation to another, like for real. Where do you think this is going? Like, I know he's love bombing you now, but he's also love bombing everybody else, including Mija still, we find out.
Right.
And kind of Ciara.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I don't know if you remember this, but on one of the reunions, Andy actually asked, this is going back, when Paige first came on the show, because Paige came on the show as an influencer, and it was during COVID, and they were like, what does she even do for a living? Because none of them, it was just a new thing. And Andy asked, like, who do you think has better fashion sense, Paige or Amanda? And everybody was like, Amanda. Like, I swear, like they thought that I swear, I wish I knew what season it was.
My gosh.
But they were all like, Amanda. And I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Because, I didn't really know what an influencer was then either. It was like a new thing. But obviously Paige, I mean, Amanda has cute style, but I don't get the boy short underwear with cowboy boots.
No,
I don't.
No.
I don't. Yeah. So Lindsay says she needs to stop getting her self-worth from a man and that she needs to find self-love, like you said, on her own. Lindsay says West manipulates women to fall in love with him. And then she asks Amanda if they've talked about their future. And Amanda says partly. She says they knew the severity of the situation. And she said to West, if this is how you really feel, then you would have to know what the future looks like with marriage and kids. Like, she wants to have kids. She wants to be married and have kids, Amanda. So if he can't say right now, like, yes, I want to do that, then like again, she threw her friendship with Ciara away and basically demolished anything that was left of her marriage on a feeling. Like, he wasn't saying like, I will marry you tomorrow, I will make you the happiest woman in the world.
He didn't even say I love you.
No.
He didn't even say I love you.
And then so Amanda says she hasn't dated since she's 24, and Lindsay's like, yeah, that's what you should be doing right now.
Right.
And Lindsay says he's already embarrassing you. He called Mija today and he screwed her in March. So he basically already cheated on you. He had sex with her in March. So this is what I don't understand. Amanda says she's realizing now that she really effed up her entire life. And Lindsay, God bless her for this. Lindsay says, imagine effing up your life so bad that we actually forgot what a terrible husband Kyle was.
I know. I loved it. It's so true, though.
It's so true. Amanda starts to cry and says, I just want to be loved. And she was missing that from Kyle and was getting it from West. And she feels stupid. And Lindsay says, you should. And the only way to save yourself is to remove yourself from West. And Amanda says, I know. And then she goes to Italy with him. Like Italy, that would have been a perfect opportunity for her to be like, you know what, go be with your family. I'm going to stay here. I need to like just chill.
I totally agree. I mean,
so God bless Lindsay. That to me was the best part of this episode, that sit down.
So I did see Lindsay put out that didn't get shown. She also said to Amanda, I don't know the exact words, but if you can't be someone with character or well, I don't know the exact word she said, we cannot be friends. So you need to conduct yourself in a way that, is respectful because what you're doing now is not.
Right.
And I'm glad that she put that statement out there. And again, Bravo didn't air it, but Lindsay did. So good for her.
Good for her. Good for her. So now it's May 20th and Kyle
30th.
and West are sitting down.
No, May 30th.
Oh,
hold on. Wait. Mine could have been a typo. It's 7 days later.
Yeah, so that would be
May
20th.
Right? It's 20th. Yep. Yeah. 7 days later. Yep, you're right. May 20th.
So West shows up at Kyle's house and the dog is like all over him. Like, I'm like, I mean, there are some dogs who are just like that, but it seems to me that they've met before.
And it seems that way to Kyle, too.
Yes. So they both acknowledge that it's very weird. And Kyle says so much of their life has been public, so we may as well record this conversation because West wanted it off camera.
Of course he did.
Yeah. He says the processing and slowing down didn't really happen until the last 2 weeks. I agree with you. Of course he did. I think that Kyle, if Kyle was really looking to get something out of West and not to do this for the show, he would have gotten more out of West off camera. I understand Bravo's going to push for it to be on camera. I mean, listen, you know me. I think Kyle pushed Carl to break off the wedding with Lindsay on camera. I think Kyle will do anything on camera. But I did find it interesting that West wanted to do it off camera. And I think Kyle would have gotten more out of him if they had. But
I don't think so. Because like Kyle said, he didn't even watch the episodes.
No,
so
that's
how
true.
Are you gonna,
yeah.
How are you going to come make it right with me? Like, what was your plan? He had no plan. He said he wanted to talk to him. He gave him no answers.
No.
He didn't give him anything.
Yeah, and he says everything has been such a disaster for him. Yeah.
You caused it. The
friendships imploding have been really hard, and he effed up something really special. Yeah, you did. Kyle says there was a bond, and when they realized how West was lying, now they're going to question everything he says. And West says if he could go back, he would do a lot of things differently. I couldn't agree with Kyle more, though. Like, you lie to me once, that's it. I've told my kids that since they were little. You lied to me, I'm never going to believe a word that comes out of your mouth. I probably shouldn't have told them that at such a young age, but that's really how I feel.
No, it's true, though.
Don't lie to me.
Right. I totally agree.
2 things. Don't lie to me and don't make me look stupid. You make me look stupid, we got a real problem. Just everybody out there. So
I know you're not talking to me.
I know. I'm definitely not talking to you. You don't lie. You are a woman of your word. So Wes says he lied to everyone and he understands why his word is discredited. And he's here to have an honest conversation with Kyle. He's not going to really say anything, but he's here to have an honest conversation. And,
it's so stupid.
I'm going to give Kyle credit where credit's due. Kyle says there's one part here that's our friendship, but the other part is that I'm worried about Amanda. And Wes says, I believe that. I absolutely believe it. Listen, I don't doubt for a second Kyle loves Amanda. I think Kyle loves Amanda very much. I just don't think he knows how to be a very good husband, or partner in general, which is interesting because his parents have been married for a long time. So it's not like he doesn't have a good example set for him. But, it is what it is.
Right.
So West asks him, do you want full honesty, even though it may hurt you? And Kyle says, yeah, there's no reason to lie. I mean, my God, at this point. And then this is when West admits that he has not watched the second half of the season. And Kyle brings up how he lured Ciara back in on screen and makes everyone think that he's back into her. And he says, what are your intentions? And he brings up the long hugs and all of the touching. And he says he was made to feel uncomfortable with how touchy West was with Amanda last summer. Now, I still don't think anything was going on last summer. I still really think that in the fall, what we're watching on In the City, I really do think that Amanda was maybe, whether her intentions were to save her marriage or not, I think that she was very much in her head about her marriage, and I don't think she was thinking about anybody else. I do, however, think that West was in his head thinking about her or plotting his next move.
I think that they were messing around in the summer. I do.
You really do, huh?
I do. I really do. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm not the only one. A lot of people think that.
Of course. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the majority of people think it. I think I'm in the minority thinking that they weren't.
Yeah, I think you are.
So, yeah. So they show West with Ciara in September of 2025 and November of 2025. And he admits that they kissed twice after the summer, but they didn't have sex because he didn't want to cross any boundaries. He literally is looking for credit for that. What are you looking for? A pat on the back because you didn't have sex with Ciara? There would be a witch hunt on you right now if we found out you had sex with Ciara after last summer. You would have to move to another country because people would be coming after you, literally.
You know what I don't understand? Do you remember when Kyle said to West, I literally had to stop Amanda from getting on a plane. She was getting on a plane to go do a podcast. What podcast was she going to be doing? Do you have any idea?
Wasn't that the one they were talking about where somebody asked them, what helps you keep the spark alive? And they were like, spark?
No.
That was something different?
They did that podcast together, her and Kyle. This was after the reunion. Amanda was going to go do a podcast and put out her side of the story. And he's like, first of all, the reunion hasn't aired yet. We don't even know what we're going to see. What are you going out there to do? And he had to talk her out of it.
I did not clock that at all.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is he talking about? And
now, did you watch this on Peacock?
No, I didn't. I watched it on
Me neither. So listen, listeners out there, please, if there's anything we don't bring up that you saw on Peacock that we didn't see, please let us know because I'd love to see the difference. I did not watch it on Peacock.
And if you know what podcast she was going to be doing, let us know that too because I'm very curious.
Know that too. So Kyle asks about Mija and how she was basically a secret girlfriend. And Wes says she was operating like they had an exclusive relationship and he wasn't. And he let her on. West admits to lying about being ambiguous with their relationship. And Kyle says, again, he's worried about Amanda because when people realize how much West has lied, it's going to make Amanda look crazy for ruining everything over him. And here we are. That's exactly what's going on. Exactly what's going on.
West said, yeah, I think that's fair. What?
Yeah.
He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say anything. He is like a little golden retriever. He is like a little puppy dog, like a little, I don't even know. And Wes says he asked Amanda continuously if she thinks she should just be single for a while before they jump into a relationship. So I guess she said no.
He said, yeah. He said, how many times can I ask her if she wants to, be by herself?
So I guess she just kept saying no because he kept asking.
He's lying. It's not true. Mm-hmm. He's totally lying.
Right. So Kyle's worried.
He's like, it looks bad. I get that 100% because it is bad.
It looks bad because it is bad.
Right.
Kyle says he's worried Wes is going to break her heart. And Wes is like, yeah, I get that you feel that way. Oh my God. He says he's aware he hasn't had great relationships in the past, but with Amanda, there's nothing performative about it. Kyle asks him if he's ready to commit and be faithful, and Wes says yes. Kyle asks if he loves her, and Wes says yes. And he told her that night last summer. But that's not what we're saying. We're saying, are you two saying I love you now to each other? You telling her I love you when you went after, she had a big fight with her husband. I think, again, it's such a blurry line with their friendships and how touchy and feely they are. They always say I love you to each other, whether it's girl, girl, boy, 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 girl. That's just the friendship they had.
Like Kyle said, he was with Amanda on Watch What Happens Live, or with Lindsay on Watch What Happens Live. And when they left each other, they said, I love you.
Exactly.
And I do love Lindsay, but I'm not in love with her.
Right. And that's what that was last summer. We saw it on camera. We saw them say, I love you, So this was interesting to me. Kyle asks how long West has had more than friendship feelings for Amanda. And he says since February, and he insists that they weren't hooking up last summer. But wasn't it on the reunion when Andy asked West, and I thought he said, like, I've kind of always felt that. Like, he always kind of had a thing for Amanda. He said it somewhere. He probably said it on his own damn podcast because that's the only place he's talking.
Yeah, he probably did.
I don't recall
hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wes says he has not said to himself or Amanda that he is in love with her, but he has cared about her for a very, very long time. He hopes that the way he feels about Amanda and the way he treats her lightens Kyle's worry for Amanda. Well, not if you're having sex with Mija still. And he says to him, no matter how this shakes out, I appreciate you sitting and talking with me. And Kyle says, this is weird. I care about you. I care about Amanda. And he says, you owe an apology to Mija. And Wes says he owes a lot of people apologies and he ain't lying.
Yeah. But are you giving them out?
Right. And honestly, somebody needs to tell Amanda that she needs to apologize to Ciara, which, I mean, has she?
She did. I think she did. I think she said she was sorry. She said she was selfish. I mean, she did apologize, but her words mean nothing. It's all about her actions.
Her words mean nothing. I know.
And that's why she's going to be on Summer House this season.
I mean, listen, maybe we'll see there's no way they're going to repair their friendship if she's still with West. Like, West needs to go back to wherever he's from. I don't even know. Minnesota? Or was that Luke? I forget.
I don't know.
Stop with the Midwestern guys. No shade, but I don't think they can handle the fame. That's the problem. I don't know. I don't want to bury myself. I don't want to get myself in trouble. So that's that. So 7 days later, May 27th, we see Ciara sits down with Mija. I got to be honest with you. I could have done without this. I could have watched more of the other two, right?
Yeah. Like I said, that's 44 minutes in. Like, they each got like 20, 22 minutes. I was like, This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. Listen, they're going to give Ciara whatever she wants because she's the star now. And God bless her.
Yeah.
You got it. So Mija comes to Ciara's apartment, which is also very cute. That's some view she's got.
Got an amazing view.
Yeah. Those floor-to-ceiling windows. Nice job, Ciara. Mija says she's still in shock, and Ciara says we are surviving and thriving. And
that is from Ashley. Ashley Darby saying, remember she had a song?
Yes.
That's immediately what I thought of when she said that.
Oh, that's so funny. I forgot about that. So they flash back to Ciara kissing West last summer, like the last night. And Mija said when she saw that, it took the wind out of her because they were full on dating. And Ciara asks, like, were you at his house during the summer? Like, would he go to the Hamptons and then come home and like give you a recap of the weekend? And she was like, yeah, I would stay over his place on the weekends when he went to the Hamptons. He had just moved into his apartment, and Mija, she likes decorating. She wanted to be there to help him out with that. He would come home from the Hamptons and they would talk about the weekend, but she never worried because she's not that type of girlfriend. She gives her partners a long leash. And if she likes you, she trusts you. And she says that was clearly a mistake. So she said that they hadn't spoken. Mija says she hadn't spoken to West in a few weeks. And after the reunion, he sent her a text, "You win." Now, before we go on, what do you think that meant? Because I'll tell you what I think. I think West knew that day, the day of the reunion, that he was fired. And maybe he knew that Mija was joining the cast of Summer House.
I mean, he definitely knew the day of the reunion he was fired because he even said that to Kyle. I thought my time on camera was done. This won't be shown. After the reunion, I thought my time on camera was done. That I didn't know what he meant, but that could be it. That could be it. That definitely could be it.
Yeah. So Ciara says we took it upon ourselves to get more information on the relationship, and they flash back to 2 years ago. And Jesse asked West if there was a girl he was excited to see, and he says no. And Jesse says there's a girl's name in your phone that keeps popping up 2 years ago. And then unaired footage from last summer, Jesse asks West, how is Mija?
Yeah, but we don't know if that one was Mija because in his confessional, he said it was someone from wherever. Like, again, we don't know because he lies so much. Could have been another girl. Right.
Right. So Mija says they had a 6-hour conversation after the reunion, and a lot of their conversations now are over the phone. And she said because of her, meaning Amanda.
That blows my mind.
Me too.
Why would you waste 6 hours of your life talking to this scumbag after you know what he did to you?
Right. Right.
That blew my mind. And I think it blew Ciara's mind too.
Yeah, she said, I give you credit for not blocking him.
Yeah.
And Mija says, like, there's still feelings there. She said at first, Mija says West said he was going to Italy by himself. And then she saw that Amanda was going with him.
Well, when they were there.
Right. Ciara says if you weren't as important as he says you weren't, then why is he still communicating with you? But they both wind up admitting that West was in it for the hunt of secrecy. Like, and Mija says she even found it a little exciting because it was like, it was like this secret thing. I guess that could be a turn on. It was never my gig. Like, if you're my guy, you're my guy. But, whatever. Mija says she has to sever the cord after Italy. And Ciara says, cheers to the gossip and let's make it fun and comical and let's laugh. So, and then they both say, Mija's like, I'm petty. And Ciara's like, girl, me too. So I feel like, I don't think we needed this part, but if Mija's going to be on Summer House, this makes total sense.
Yes, if she's going to be on Summer House, it makes total sense. Because Mija also said, we have to kiss courtside somewhere. She's like, I'm going to kiss you with so much passion.
Kind of wish they were at one of the Knicks games, for crying out loud.
Bet they wish they were at one of the Knicks games too.
Good point.
Because I know we do.
Man, I wish.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was basically it. I mean, I guess that's it for, and now they're, they should be filming in a couple of weeks. Next week's 4th of July. Is next week 4th of July?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Shit.
But you know what I think I saw on In the City? It looks like next week Amanda's talking to her dad. I'm curious to see that.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see how that conversation goes because it sounds like she grew up a spoiled brat and her parents never said no to her. And she's already admitted she went from her parents' house to Kyle's. She didn't know how to do anything. She didn't know how to, pay bills or she didn't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
I want to see how that conversation goes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, listen, she grew up in a very affluent area in New Jersey. Hillsborough is one of the nicest areas in Jersey, for sure. And we saw their house. I mean, just the fact that they could have the wedding at their house with that property and, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Right.
So they're very well off, her parents, clearly. And we've never heard of siblings, but I guess we don't know if she has siblings. Yeah. Well, whatever. It is what it is. Well, we're done with Summer House for a while, so. But I'm sure, in the past, we never really heard of anything while they weren't airing, while they were filming. I'm sure we're going to hear bits and pieces while they're filming this summer. We're certainly going to hear who's on the cast.
Yeah, everyone's on high alert now.
What do you think about this? So there's a rumor out there that West tried to get Kyle, Carl,
Lindsay
and Lindsay fired. She actually said it?
Yeah, Lindsay said it. And I don't know if you got a chance to listen to Lindsay on Carl's podcast.
I just started it.
It is so good. She is so good. And that's the other thing. Listeners,
what I loved is that she reached out to him and asked him if she could be on. I love that.
Yep. Carl's podcast is called More Life. I've been listening to it since he started. He's a very good interviewer. He wrote a book, which I would like to get and listen to. But he is so introspective when he talks to people. He lets them speak. He listens. He's such a good interviewer. But anyway, I learned so much about Lindsay when she was talking on the podcast. So do you remember in the beginning, they always would drink the Whispering Angel, the rosé?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all because of Lindsay. Lindsay got them all that alcohol for free because she was working in marketing. She talks about where she started, how she came to be who she is. And honestly, she's impressive. I mean, I've always liked Lindsay. I know you have not been a fan of Lindsay's.
Yeah, it's ebbs and flows with me. Ebbs and flows. Right now, big fan.
When you listen to her story and you listen to her and Carl, you are going to like her even more. She's got such a good story. She really does.
Does she talk about her mom?
She doesn't talk about her mom, but she does talk about her dad. She does. I mean, she bought her own car. She worked for everything she's ever gotten. She put herself through school. I'm telling you, she is a hustler and has always been a hustler. She's been a hustler. And ideas. She's always coming up with ideas. The reason Loverboy even exists is because of her. Because when she was getting all this alcohol, right, they would wake up the next day like with, these sugar hangovers, right? So, Kyle started, because he was all into like health and stuff. He's like, maybe we should come up with something that, there's not so much sugar in. And Lindsay had a friend who was in like the beverage business and introduced Kyle to the people that made Loverboy with him, like one of his partners. Like Lindsay made that happen.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. Because they have been very close for years, she and Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he always kind of defends her. Like, he always has her back. So this all makes a lot of sense.
And Kyle, I believe, is the one who got her on the show. I think she's told that story before. She didn't tell it now.
I'm sure. I really do think that Kyle is the one who pitched this show and got it on. Because I think they all really were doing summer shares.
No, I think what happened was they were auditioning for it. And Kyle was the first one of them cast. And then he wound up pulling other people in. I think that's how it happened. Yeah.
I feel like he went to somebody and pitched the show.
No. I'm almost positive that is not what happened. I'm almost positive he was the first one cast. And then because I think she had said that she was like auditioning for something else or looking at something else. And it was about the same time that this was going on. And then Kyle called her. I don't know the exact story. I heard it a while ago. All right. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But go listen to More Life, Carl Radke. It's a great podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely listen to that. All right. Well, thank you for listening and watching. Please like, subscribe, share, 5-star reviews, the whole bit.
Bye.
Bye.